Question number 3. The scores of the 8 highest scoring countries in the 2019 Eurovision Song Contest are shown in the following table. For this data, find the upper quartile and the interquartile range. So the upper quartile is going to be Q3. If they wanted you to find Q1, it's the lower quartile, and the second quartile is the median. So one of the easiest ways for you to do this is to go to your calculator, go to Stat Edit, and you're going to enter the data 498. And when you're done entering the data, notice it says L19. That means it's ready to receive the 9th value. So if you count how many countries you have on this list, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means that you have entered 8 values. So that's one way for you to check. The other thing is, remember that you're about to trust what the calculator is going to tell you is the answer. So you have to take the time to just very quickly look over at the list of numbers they gave you and what you have entered in your calculator to make sure that you haven't made a mistake. So now we're going to go to Stat, Calc, one variable statistic. We have entered the data in list 1. There is no frequency list. Press Calculate. At this time, if I scroll down, you're going to see that it gives me what's called the 5-number summary. So here the minimum is 302, the lower quartile is 318, the median is 349, the upper quartile, which is our answer, our value here, is 421, and the max is 498. So this means that our third quartile, or the upper quartile, is 421. To find the interquartile range, you would do Q3 minus Q1. Both of these values, if you recall, were given to you from the calculator. It is a good idea to go ahead and actually show the work for the interquartile range before you just give an answer. So here the answer is 103. Determine if the Netherlands score is an outlier for this data. The outlier formula is not in the formula packet. So you need to know that to find outliers, you need to find what's called the upper fence and the lower fence. The upper fence is going to be Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR, and the lower fence is going to be Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. In this particular case, the Netherlands is the largest value, 498, which means that I can just go ahead and find the upper fence. So I'm going to show the work for the upper fence, which is going to be Q3, 421, plus 1.5 times the IQR of 103. This is going to give me a value of 575.5. If you wanted to, you could find the lower fence, which is going to be 318 minus 1.5 times the IQR. That would have given me 163.5. So clearly the Netherlands is not an outlier. Make sure that you answer the question. And the reason is because 498 is less than the upper fence of 575.5. What the upper fence means is that it's kind of like your upper boundary, and any value outside of the boundary is going to be an outlier. But in this case, the Netherlands is 498, so that means that it is less than 575.5. Clearly, the Netherlands is not an outlier. Chester is investigating the relationship between the highest scoring countries' Eurovision score and their population size to determine whether population size can reasonably be used to predict a country's score. The populations of the countries to the nearest million are shown in the table. Chester finds that for this data, the Pearson's product moment correlation coefficient is R equals 0.249. State whether it would be appropriate for Chester to use the equation of a regression line for Y on X to predict a country's Eurovision score. Justify your answer. The correlation coefficient is 0.249. That means that there is a weak correlation, and therefore it is not going to be appropriate for Chester to use the equation of the regression line. Chester then decides to find the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient for this data and creates a table of ranks. Write down the value of A, B, and C. If I look right now at Eurovision score rank, that's already been done for us. If you look at population rank, notice that Russia is ranking number 1. Russia is 145. It is the biggest number. That means that we are going to be ranking these in descending order, highest to smallest. So Russia's number 1, followed by number 2, which is Italy. Number 3 is going to be Netherlands. There's going to be a tie for 4th place. So I'm going to say rank number 4 and rank number 5, but I want to make a note because I have to come back to find the average of those ranks. The next one is going to be 9, so that's going to rank number 6, then number 7, and finally number 8. So the 2 that we are missing right now that have equal values, which are ranked 4 and 5, what you want to do is find the average of the ranks. So here 4 plus 5 divided by 2 is 4.5. If I had 3 values, like 3 tens, I would have continued ranking. So 4, 5, 6, for example, and then taken the average of 4 plus 5 plus 6 divided by 3, and that would have been the rank for each one of them. Right now, I'm going to make sure that B is 4.5, C is 4.5, and A, which is Switzerland, is going to be 6. Whenever the directions are right down and you notice that this is a 3-point question and there's 3 parts to it, that means that every single answer is worth 1 point. So you're either going to get it right or you are going to get it wrong. What is nice is that now they're going to ask you for the correlation coefficient, RS. You're going to have to go to your calculator and you're going to enter the values that you got when you ranked them, and you're going to get follow through in case you did make a mistake. So let's go ahead and clear. We're going to go stat edit once again. I'm going to go up, press clear, enter, so that I can go ahead and get rid of that. And I'm now going to enter the ranks. So 3, enter, 2, enter, 1. When you are doing correlation, make sure that the number of values match. In this case, notice they're both lists are ready to take on the 9th value. So I have entered 8 values in both lists. Stat, calc. You can either do option 4 or option 8. I'm going to go ahead and do option 4. When I press calculate, because my X list is list 1, my Y list is list 2, you're going to notice that I don't see the correlation coefficient R. How can I see it? Well, make sure that in your calculator you press mode and your stat diagnostic has to be on. And as a matter of fact, since we're under mode, we are supposed to be in degree mode when you test for the AI exam. So let's go ahead and change that to degree mode. So now stat calc 4, press enter to calculate. And voila, you're going to see the correlation coefficient is 0.682646, etc. It is always a good idea to copy down exactly what you see on the calculator. 0.68264669 ... and then round to 3 significant figures unless told otherwise. Interpret the value obtained for RS. That means that there is a positive rank correlation between population size and score. For part F, when calculating the ranks, Chester incorrectly read the Netherlands score as 478. Explain why the value of the Spearman's rank correlation RS does not change despite this error. It would still be the highest score, and so the rank is unchanged. It is still going to rank number 1. This right here is a paper 2 question worth a total of 16 marks. These are very easy 16 marks for you to get on the exam. It has to do with statistics. It has to do with finding upper quartile, interquartile range, determining whether or not a value is an outlier, understanding Pearson's correlation coefficient in terms of strength, being able to rank data so then you can find the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient, interpreting that in the context of the question, and understanding why the correlation coefficient RS does not change despite a value being different, since it is still going to be the highest score and it's still going to rank the same amount.